Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick video around personal brands and you as a viewer, how you should take them, and as you know, if you're someone who has a personal brand, what you need to be careful of and what you need to do about it. So I'm gonna be walking around a lot because I have a lot to do, but I this was like on my mind to make this video because of something that I saw today that I just want to address. So the first thing you need to realize is that I think it's easy to think that because somebody has a personal brand and they appear to know all the answers, and they appear to know all the answers, I think it's easy to think that they have all the answers, right? Because they appear to know more than you do, which might be true. Like they might know more than you do, and that is entirely possible. That's entirely feasible. But it's imperative that you don't treat them like they know everything in every single domain of life. So I've always said that you should follow people in whatever domain that you want, and only take advice from people who have accomplished the thing that you want to accomplish in whatever domain that you want. So what that means is that, and so that's number one. Number two, and then I'll talk into what that means. But that's number one. Number two is that you need to then prioritize each of the domains, because eventually what you'll realize is that a lot of advice conflicts, right? Like somebody can tell you in business that in order to be successful you can't have kids, but you might want to have kids and you can't change your desire because of your desire for something else, unless you're okay with that. Like unless you're okay with sacrificing kids for business, if you have decided to prioritize business above kids and above your desire to have kids, then that's fine. But if somebody tells you, if you want to start a business and somebody tells you that you need to give up the prospect of having kids before you start a business, then like what I'm trying to say is that that person is wrong if you as a viewer want to have kids. So then you just don't do that. You just don't give up having kids. Or if you already have them, you're not going to start, like, you shouldn't start resenting your family or your kids because you want to be successful in business and, make a bunch of money and all that stuff. So you need to know what you want and be able to prioritize the things and have critical thinking skills to be able to say, I don't know if I'm going to take that piece of advice, or, that one's good. I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. So that's number one. Number two is that you, as the person with a personal brand, if you have one, or when you will build one eventually, technically we all have it, so this is applicable to everybody because you most likely have an Instagram account or something. But you, as someone with a personal brand, I'm like done walking around the house. I want to just finish this right now, and then I'll walk around the house. But you, as someone with a personal brand, right? You need to realize that a lot of people will not do what I just described, which is use critical thinking skills, and a lot of people will look to you as a person with the answers for everything. So it then becomes tough and discouraged for you to change your mind and to grow. But I think it is important to realize that how we grow is literally by changing the things we believe and by changing our minds, amongst many other things. But that is one of the main things, right? And so over the course of a long period of time, if you have the same ideas and beliefs, that's fine. But it is more than likely that across a long period of time, you're not going to have the same ideas and beliefs. And you can learn and use this to predict the future by looking back in your past and realizing that 20 years ago, you probably didn't believe the same things you believe now. 20 years ago, I was like, I don't know, like a baby, right? I had no responsibilities. Um, and likewise, like 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, for me personally, like I didn't believe, like a lot, like my mind, my life has changed a lot over the last 5 years, and what I believe has changed a lot over the last 5 years. And so you need to keep in mind that in order to in order to not have the stigma that comes with someone who changes their mind and their beliefs and therefore their personal brand, in order to not have that stigma, it's important that you frame it as someone with a personal brand as, this is what I did, this is my experience, I don't have all the answers because a lot of people are not going to think critically, like I just said, before, and they're not going to be like, okay, this person is just talking from their experience. They're not going to think that. They're not going to think what I just said, which is that you don't have all the answers, or they don't have all the answers. Like influencers don't have all the answers, and so then it becomes on you. I'm telling the viewers to do this, but you, as a viewer and someone with a future personal brand, you have to do this because a lot of like viewers are not everyone's gonna watch it. Like probably like two people are gonna watch this video. Okay, so the onus is then on you as the creator to be like, hey, I don't have all the answers. This is just my experience. This is just what I found works for me, and take it or leave it. And so I'm gonna provide you with a case study success story, crazy stammer, a case study success story of when this went right and when this went wrong. So when it went right, Alex Hormozy has always been the kind of guy who's like, listen, I'm just telling you guys what worked for me, and like if it works for you, fine, awesome, take it, run, that's amazing. If it doesn't work for you, that's cool too. Like no harm, no foul, no hard feelings, whatever, right? He's never presented himself as like, listen, I know everything and you know nothing. So just listen to me. Okay? Like I'm the best guy for the thing. Just believe what I believe. And so I think this is the reason why recently he has just announced that he's having a baby with his wife Layla. And I mean, people were shocked, and I'm happy for them. I love that for them. But I think a lot of people are shocked, but not many people are angry, which is that is a difference. So I actually didn't plan on talking about this other thing, but that is a contrast from this other person named Alex Cooper, who has the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she just announced that she's having a baby, and a lot of people are like, whoa, like you switched up on us, this and that, like, like people, not everyone is outraged, but enough people are outraged for it to like kind of be a thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't really keep tabs on that part of the internet, to be honest with you. But like a lot of people are outraged enough to like have it be, like a thing. And that's completely different. But for Alex Hormozy, a lot of people are like, oh, cool, like I'm glad they changed their mind, right? Because he has presented himself in a lot of different ways and circumstances as human. Now, if you contrast that with this other guy that many people know of named Hamza Ahmed, Hamza portrays himself as the person who knows everything. You should just turn off your brain and listen to me because I know everything. And I know what you don't. And so I know everything. Just listen to me. And because of that, he has not given himself the opportunity to change his mind and change his stance and grow. That is the problem. That is the problem with his content. And I don't think he's realized that in framing his content the way that he's framed it, he's sort of locked himself in a box. Sorry, crazy voice crack. But he's locked himself in a box because he can only talk about the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And if he adds something to it, if he says that, okay, this is now the new thing, like this is the new thing I'm going to talk about, then he has to add it and like just continue talk, like, you know what I mean? Like he can't just like be like, hey, like I'm doing this and I'm trying that. Like he can't, because he has framed himself as the person who knows everything. And so therefore he's not allowed to make mistakes yet. And so I think it's like, I'm not going to talk too much about the Hamza drama. I already did in another video that is now scrubbed off the internet. So I'd rather not rehash that video. But my main point in all of this is saying that as a creator, you need to make sure that you, or as a creator or a public figure, right? Or just as a person, if you're giving advice, right? I'm giving advice on this channel and I don't know everything. I always say that I'm speaking from my own personal experience because that's all I can really draw on. Like that's literally something that I say in a lot of videos. And so if you are in the same position and you're making videos or whatever, you need to make sure that you state that you don't know everything. And you are a human. You make mistakes. And this is just what works for you. And if it doesn't work for them, then that's fine. But you are documenting. And my controversial belief is that if Hamza Ahmed changed his stance from, I know everything and you need to listen to me because I know it all and you don't. If you change the stance from that to, hey, listen, guys, I don't know it all. This, I know this. And this is what worked for me. And so now I'm gonna try this new thing. I'm gonna try it, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know if it works, and I'll keep you updated along for the ride. If he had changed his stance from that first guy to the second guy, then I think he would still be here today. He's still alive today. At the time of making, he's still alive, as far as I know. But what I mean by I think he would still be here today is I think he actually would be just as relevant as before, and his channel would still be growing, and people would still follow him and like to watch his content. And I think that someone like Alex Hormozy, on the other hand, his channel, he's still very relevant. Like, everybody still knows who he is. He's still online. He's still making money. Like, he's still Alex Hormozy. But I think another thing with Hamza Ahmed is that, like, a lot of people, like, he doesn't have, his content is so I talked a little bit on this channel before about, like, how self-improvement is a stepping stone for the next thing. And so his channel is very much like a stepping stone channel, and you very quickly, very easily grow out of that stratosphere, like that area. And he doesn't have anywhere else to catch you. I think recently he just added a content creation um offer, but his content creation offer is just not, it's just not like, when you look at his brand, he's built a channel with over 2 million subscribers, but like, what he teaches in there is kind of cookie cutter, bare bones stuff, which is like, just be controversial, like, just say your controversial opinions, and just like make videos regularly, and this and that. Like, he doesn't, and the reason why, which I'm speculating, so I want to make that clear. I'm speculating. The reason why that advice from him is so cookie cutter is because he wasn't, the main stuff he did for his YouTube video is like making the video, and like, coming up with the ideas and like making the video, but like all the other stuff around it was actually from his editor at the time, was like his main channel manager. So he doesn't know much about editing, which is a huge component. It's not the end all be all, but it's a huge component. Thumbnails, a huge component. Titles, a huge component. Again, it's not the end all be all, but they're huge components. If you have bad videos with bad titles, bad thumbnails, bad editing, right? Bad packaging, that's just the whole packaging of the video, you're not gonna get anywhere. Okay. And I don't think I mean, he knows that, but I think that he doesn't know that enough. But that's a whole different, that was a crazy side tangent. The whole point is that, as a viewer, okay, this is going to be the takeaways, right? As a viewer, you need to realize that the people you look up to online are human just like you. And some of them may have learned more than you in a certain domain, but ironically, in other domains, you actually might know more than them, and that's completely fine. They don't know more than you in everything, which means that you don't need to listen to every single thing that they say or they tell you to do. Because if you listen to Alex Hormozy and Layla Hormozy when you were like 28 and a woman, then you probably would be like 32, 33 right now, realizing that, oh, okay, I can have kids, and then going to look for, a husband or something. I don't know. That's a little that's a little extreme. That's a little yeah, that was a little much. But obviously I'm hyperbolizing, if that's a word, but I don't mean that. I really don't. Like, obviously you can have kids mid to late 30s, and that's completely fine. No hate to the late mothers out there. I might be one of y'all. I'm just kidding. I actually want to have kids late 20s. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point of this matter is not to completely listen to these people for every single thing in your life. You need to have your own choices and your own thoughts, in knowing exactly what it is that you want and going out there and getting it, okay? And using these people as what it is intended, which, like, self-improvement is kind of like a stepping stone, right? And so that is what I recommend. As a content creator, someone who is a public figure and makes content, I would recommend that you don't portray yourself as someone who knows everything, right? You portray yourself as someone who makes mistakes, someone who's human, somebody who, like, your viewers might know more than you in certain stuff. And in doing that, it might seem restrictive and it might seem, like exposing in a way, which is quite contrasting, but it actually frees you to do a lot more, way more than you ever could have imagined, right? It frees you to make content for a way longer time because then you're not locked in a box. And that is where I'll leave that video.